Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are crashing. Bitcoin right now at 103.1, Ethereum at $2,400 again, XRP just went below $2.10. And the nice thing is, whenever I post this right now, there'll be many people stating, but a 3%, a 5% move, a 7% move is not crashing. Ladies and gentlemen, I state to you, $250 million worth of longs that got wrecked in just an hour. All right. That is a very much unexpected move, a very big crash. And the interesting part is that it's actually mostly Ethereum. Even though the Ethereum price is not down that much, obviously a 4% move is significantly more than on a Bitcoin, which obviously only like 1.5% move. I'm quickly also changing my camera a little bit because right now it's daytime. I've only recorded from the nighttime thus far. But every single coin right now is going down. We have a couple of coins that are actually still managing to stay up, like Kaya. But then we also have a couple of coins in the minus double digits. SPX is down 15%. Fart coin is down 10%, but actually up 3% over the hour. AB is down 11%. Sonic is down 12%. Hyperliquid down 7%. Jitto down 7%. It's some carnage across the board, ladies and gentlemen. But just a few minutes ago, this news came out. Iran foreign minister said that Iran is ready to consider diplomacy once again. In the midst here real quick, I also want to quickly mention this. CZ had a comment about these large orders that were being done by, for example, James Nguyen. He's the guy that opened a public $1 billion Bitcoin long a while back that got kind of wrecked, as he lost $100 million. Well, mostly 85 of that was profit. CZ said, people who want... who trade with large visible orders on a DEX want you to see it. They know you can. It's advertising, for example, for Hyperliquid and or a psychological game. You just have to figure out if you should do 1 or 2 levels of reverse thinking because, well, maybe they do want you to see it, but then the question is it a psychological game or do they not care, or what exactly are they doing? Or is it double that they expect you to know that you know that they want you to see it? So then the reverse of that is that you should, act as if it's not there, if you get my drift. Most traders I know don't want to show their real orders because, well, others can snipe it, others can wreck you. But then again, perhaps these people have just some cojones, they have some freaking balls lying under there. That's one thing. Or they have some deeper plan you can't figure out. But mostly it's probably either advertising or psychology. Now, some of the stuff that's going on, you can see a little bit. I don't even fully want to show because obviously there's a bit of panic all across the board. Once you take a look at Bitcoin, though, and you really start kind of diving in, have we really bottomed that much? Are we really low? I mean, right now we had a massive candle down, but that's actually full enough because we had a pretty good candle upwards slightly before that. I had a lot of bot taking profit orders throughout the night. And then at about, I guess American time, like 8 o'clock in the morning or something like that, all of a sudden things started crashing and crumbling back down. But again, that was after a pretty solid pump. Matter of fact, XRP, as at this point, has just entered even more beautifully into the buy range. And for the most part, not that much has changed. $2.09, $2.14. Does it really matter in the grand scheme of things? I wouldn't say that much. All right, the bottom for where we really would buy in heavy is always going to be $2. And this time around, you'll probably see me open a significantly crazier size at that level. But even right now, let me just buy another $10,000 worth, for example. Let me just quickly show this. Quickly press buy. It's actually at $2.14, so that's not going to fill. Of course, it's going to fill because actually I'm doing it the opposite way around. I'm buying. So that was basically a market order at 209, but hey, good enough. We bought another $10,000 worth of this XRP trade. Right now, it's about $316,000 worth, but in fact, it's actually in XRP, which is why this number was $370,000 before, and right now seems to only be going down. I should buy another $10,000 worth. There we go. Let's just buy it again at the current sell price, about $10,000 worth. That's juicy. But hopefully the price as of this point goes significantly lower. Would be nice to scoop up some more at these cheap prices because at the same time, our bots are doing that also. I mean, just take a look at these bots right now. You might feel disgusted looking at this thinking, Dusty, all is doing so bad. Let me tell you again, this is a longer term strategy. You just got to have the patience because these will all turn around when the price starts going down. it adds to the position, which is why it keeps gritting out profits. This was the purpose. If we're looking at it from an XLM perspective, though, you can see that from November on forward, the price has basically only been going down. So it's really not that strange that on our position, we are down a bit. Even though from the bottom, it is up like 20%. From the top, it is down significantly, right? Let's say 75% down. Now, again, all we're waiting for is one good leg up. It doesn't need to be that much to basically, since we were gritting out all the time anyway, to basically redeem all the losses that we were making on the short term. And again, in my own personal opinion, it's either going to zero or to the moon. It's just a matter of patience. But again, we have multiple different coins in because you do not know which is going to grit the best. But it seems that 𝗕𝗏, really, out of all of them, was one of the best ones. Now, right now, for example, we should actually be stacking up again on the bot here a little bit. So let's just, for example, add another $1,000 to the bot. Why? Because our liquidation price is like, what, 20-some cents anyway. Like, this is never going to liquidate. I can just keep it open. But you saw that we were able to grit out 25% or so worth of profits in the midst. So right now, we're just increasing the size to increase our average position. Let's just quickly do it like that. Let's just double it up. So now it's going to look as if we are making less profits. I know. But that's because on the 𝗕𝗏 bot, on the Solana, I'm not sure if we did this bot, but on most of these bots, like the XLM bot, since we started, I believe, this XLM bot with like 3,000, now it's at 10,000, the grid profits look less. And the same thing for the 𝗵𝗏 bot, we've increased the original amount, which is why the grids look less. But all of these have been cashing. One of the only ones we've not done is virtuals, which is why you can see it's still in almost 11% worth of profit in a little bit over a month, because that's what it's gritting out. And this, it's all just a game of patience. If you look back in a few months, you'll see all these being in such crazy amounts of profit that the unrealized loss, perhaps, can't hurt it no more. And that's the big idea here. Matter of fact, specifically here, we started at $2.11, right? Right now we are at $2.12. Because we paid some funding fee on the $250,000 position, it should be at a pretty big loss over a 45-day period. But because we were able to grit out $7,000 in this month and a half, it's actually still very much in the green. Anyway, links to all those you can find down below here in the description. 𝗕𝗏 is the one I'm trading on right now. If you don't want KYC and you want to trade still, you've got 𝗕𝗏, 𝗕𝗏𝗀𝗏. I always recommend using a VPN, though, for all these different things. But regardless, if you don't want to, 𝗕𝗏 can use from anywhere. And 𝗫𝗏, I think, and 𝗕𝗏, if you're in the US or UK, you might need a VPN. But these are my main platforms right now. And you get a nice deposit bonus and a sign-up bonus. You get $100 just for signing up to 𝗕𝗏. Check it out. I'm not going to lie, though, when you look at the Solana chart over a 15-minute period, it does look a bit like a rug pull, and that's why I keep saying, man, really, the prices are tanking. 148 to 136 is a very significant drop, but just because we were pumping throughout the day, it doesn't look that bad. Now, perhaps things start getting better from here slowly, though. Iranian foreign minister has arrived at the Geneva venue for talks with the European counterparts. Talks are officially underway. Stay tuned for potential breakthroughs. And, with regards to these Federal Reserve meetings, Federal Reserve's Christopher Waller says could cut rates as early as July meeting. I wonder if that's really going to happen. Trump and the guys over there have been back and forth on this for a long time. Oh yeah, why I was stating earlier about these big trades, because another mystery whale has popped up and opened up a $420 million Bitcoin and ETH position. Or actually, I just see Bitcoin right here. But anyway, it's interesting that these people are doing that, right? But CZ said most likely there is some logic behind the madness as to why they're opening these public positions. I don't like this post a lot. New pattern just dropped for Bitcoin, the Marge pattern, right? And Ted said, I hate this market because damn, things are strange right now. And also, it's quite interesting that 10 hours ago when things were pumping, people were questioning, like, what is exactly causing this? Because it was kind of hard to pinpoint one exact thing. And right now, like half an hour ago, or let's say 3 hours ago, when things just started going down significantly again, people are again wondering what exactly is causing that. Because you can name some things, but none of them should have this much an effect, you would think. Nick says this is what you classically call a liquidity run, just swooping up that liquidity. He says classic liquidity sweep, running the stops on the shorts in low liquidity, early morning trade, and now sending us lower liquidate longs. Hold on, because indeed, for the most part, that is actually what happened. A massive pump to destroy the shorts, and then quickly afterwards a massive dump to most likely get those people that were thinking, oh, we're in Valhalla, oh, we're gonna go crazy now, to give them a little bit of a surprise, a pleasant surprise. Anyway, that's the current news as it stands. If something crazy happens, I'll keep you guys up to date. But right now, just stay careful, all right? That's all I'm going to say, because the market is crazy, but you already knew that.